Okay everyone, welcome back again. The purpose of this video is to illustrate how to properly place holes in your three-dimensional geometry, specifically using OnShape. However, the hole placement philosophy or process that I'm about to show you can obviously be transferred to any other parametric modeling program such as Inventor or SolidWorks. But at this point you can see that we are using the switch bracket as an example to kind of illustrate. We have a hole in our part. The question is, what defines that hole, where it is, and what its size is? There should be three dimensions associated to every hole that's geometrically placed properly. And I'm going to open up my sketch 1 at this point and kind of show you how it's done. So here's your hole. Your circle is represented obviously in a sketch that's maybe contained by an outward sketch. The inside would be removed. So if I were to create another hole, the absence of material would be there. I'm just curious, let's just take a look at what this does, as you can see, right? So yeah, you might be thinking to yourself at this point, the hole has been placed and it looks great if that's what we intended. But I don't know how big that hole is. I don't know what the location is. It does exist, so it does have those values, but I did not put those values in. So at this point, what I want you to understand is that typically to properly place holes, what needs to be done is your X value and your Y value need to be defined in reference to something on your sketch. As you can see, I'm referencing the bottom of my sketch here to the center of the circle, as you can see. So that would be our Y value, if you want to call it that. And then our X value, if you want to call it this, okay, we have, and I'm speaking in two dimensions as if there is no third dimension, the edge of the part to the center, and that would be considered, let's say, our X. So you're most familiar with those terms, so I'm not going to use our X and our Z. Just think of this as our Y, think of this as our X, and at that point our hole will have been placed. So I'm going to just draw a circle that represents the hole. I'm going to press D on the keyboard. I'm going to click the center of the circle, and then I'm going to click the edge of the part, and now I have an X value. If I needed that at, let's say, 2 1/4 inches away, I can then place that there. Even though it was very similar, you probably didn't see it move that much. I'm now going to do my Y, center of the circle, to a line that's vertically away, so that would actually be a horizontal line. And you can put the sketch dimensions on the sketch if it's not cluttered. If I needed that at 1 1/4 inches away, that's exactly where it is. So that's the intersection of the X and the Y. Now third, the last dimension that's necessary, of course, is how big that circle is. And with complete circles, you will use typically a dimetric dimension. So for example, I needed this to be 1/4 inch in diameter, a small hole. So now that hole is exactly placed where I intend it to be and sized where it needs to be in a hypothetical sense, of course. And then when I say okay, I'll know exactly where that needs to be in reference to something else that this mechanically would work with, right? And this is once again a hypothetical situation. But the purpose of this video is to illustrate and explain proper hole placement, and you're going to use two values, a vertical and a horizontal value, that creates an intersection where your circle is located. And then you're going to choose a dimetric or select or define a dimetric dimension, as you can see here. So I'm going to clean up my sketch at this point because I don't want these to be present. And that's pretty much it. If you have any comments or questions, you can obviously email me direct, or you can even put them into the comments below. Hope this was informative, and good luck.